So today's talk from Patrick. Patrick introduced yesterday how the harmonics kind of work in the body, and you see how we then apply that to heart harmonics and brain harmonics and sacrocranial harmonics and sound harmonics, all of which fit the metaphor of implosion very nicely. And so today Patrick then moves that conversation to practical applications within PiezoPhire, PlasmaPhire, and the FlameinMind, how we actually use this practically. We'll be introducing, and remember now, in the next couple of days, this afternoon later, and then especially Monday morning, you have live demos come and play with our toys with us. The Therify will be set up, the PlasmaPhire will be set up, the PiezoPhire will be set up, and the FlameinMind, so you can try our toys, especially Monday morning and other times. So with that, Patrick, thank you so much.
Okay, I would like to thank you again for being here with us, and with all the sharing that we already have during this conference. And I want to apologize a little bit, because after this beautiful sharing that we have in the last it's okay?
Yes, we're good.
Oh.
It's okay.
And I asked you yesterday to be as far as possible present in the right brain, but unfortunately now I will bring you back in the left one.
Balance.
So, and I will do my best to answer most of the questions that you asked me yesterday, and I have adapted a little bit this part of the conference. And so when you are looking, this is a recording of Schumann frequency, and you see there are different kind of peaks, and these peaks are not necessarily linked to octave ratio or to fear ratio. Some of them yes, some of them no. And if we compare these peaks with what we are measuring with FlameinMind, in fact you see there, that's what we are looking for when we are making a recording of the kits, but also we have made a recording of Jean-Charles Moyen when he was leaving his body, and making also this kind of beautiful tree in the brainwave. And each time we have some frequency which are coming, which are related to the spectrum that I just showed you in Schumann frequency. And this is what maybe I just take my...
So Jean-Charles Moyen is the one who was actually when teleporting with witnesses, and the brainwaves were dramatically indicative of his ability to project his body. So we got that cascade with Jean-Charles, thanks to Patrick's help, which identified the teleport moment.
Yeah. In fact, this is a recording of what happened during the session. You see, at this point here is opening the gate also, like we explained yesterday with the kit, and the gamma are increasing a lot. The gamma, but also the alpha. And he got a peak here at 13 in the alpha, but also some peak in beta, and also in gamma. And what we are...
Yeah, extreme coherence. And what we hypothesize is that sets up implosion down the center point tuned to Planck, and then embedding in Planck you can project yourself into the array, lucid dreaming like Jodie Foster, or further, actually teleporting. We measured this. It's amazing. Sorry.
So there are some peaks which are coming, and to try to understand exactly what was happening, we have the opportunity with the FlameinMind app and the Muse headset that we can measure brain waves if you place it on your head, but we can also use this device and place it in a room and make a recording of the frequency which are coming to the device in the room. And to try to understand the relationship between our brainwave and also the Schumann frequency, we have made a different kind of measurement. And the first one is a tree, and you see we got a peak at 7, 21, 33, 53. Again.
It's beautiful. We're so proud that we can actually see the Schumann in the tree. It tells you when that tree is going to be vital.
Yeah. when the tree is vital, you get the beautiful cascade of frequency. And if the tree is sick, you don't have the same thing. Yeah.
And the Schumann is very close to a phase conjugate pump wave. Perfect implosion to longitudinal connection.
In my gardens, all around my gardens there are cows. And a cow is very heavy person. So the field coming out from the cow is quite strong. So I about 5-6 meters away from the cows, and I place the transducer on the floor, and I'm measuring. And again, 21, 33, 53.
Happy cows.
Happy cows.
They're emerging from cows, and they're outstanding in their field.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
Sorry, Patrick.
Welcome. So I have the chance to make some measurement on the pyramid in Visoco, and on the top of the pyramid, again the same frequency coming. Inside the tunnel, below the pyramid, also the same frequency coming. And here you see there is also a 50 Hertz because of the light and the power supply which is inside the tunnel.
That's a gorgeous measurement. The 50 tells you what mankind brought, and the 53 above it tells you what God brought.
And so when we are comparing the different recording that we have done, you can see that on the first step, well, let's see relaxation alpha. You have a peak in alpha, in the green part here. And the more you're grounded, the more you will be in the lower alpha, related to Schumann, 7-8 Hertz. If you're not grounded, you will have a peak in alpha, but about the above alpha, at about 12-13 Hertz. When we make some recording with shamanism, you have also the alpha which is coming, but a peak is appearing in 21. And then more advanced shamanism experience, you have something which is coming at 33, which is the same thing as Jean-Charles here. Jean-Charles 13, 21, 33. And the kit with blind vision, you have also, this is the half here of the Christmas tree that Iris showed yesterday. And so the peak is around 32, 33 also.
So the 33 there is close to gamma, basically.
Yes, yes. It's the frontier between the gamma and beta. Yeah, yeah.
And that was so important that Patrick mentioned that the alpha is the Schumann, and it is phase conjugate. And lower alpha, you're grounded. Higher alpha, you haven't made the... Because remember, alpha is literally the Earth's heartbeat. Schumann.
Yeah, yeah. And so, trying to understand these different peaks, but it's very easy. You take Schumann, you increase by golden ratio, 13, 21, 33, 53.
That is so important. That's the change we made right there to improve the healing of our devices. When we learned that, we improved the healing of our devices.
And so, this is the Christmas tree of the kit, but again, at 53 we have a peak. And I also, from Jean-Charles, we have a peak. And here, this peak at 53 is the same, it's octave ratio and phi ratio. You see the...
Yeah, it's a cascade which is both octave and phi.
Yeah.
And
At 53, he is exactly both octave and phi ratio.
So the cube has embedded in the dodeca.
Yeah.
And note that the alpha there, his alpha in green below, was off the charts high amplitude.
Yeah, yeah.
Patrick had to turn down the gain. It made he not only made the Christmas tree, he made a big Christmas tree. So the pine cones kissing noses were large.
Yeah, in fact, when we start with the kits, when Iris came to my place with the two kits and we were making measurement, we are... Oh yes, I'm sorry. So when the first measurement we have done with the kit, I felt that it was noise. Because when Dan asked me to start to develop the app, we were only looking for lower frequency. And we didn't take care of the higher frequency of gamma. We are not looking for gamma. What we are... No. And so the first recording I've done, I said, okay, it's a problem. We cannot fix correctly the sensor on the head because there are kids and too small head. And then as it was repeated, I tried in different way. And so I said to Iris, it's okay, we'll make the recording and I will try to adapt the app to see what's happening. And that's the way that we discovered this big Christmas tree.
Yeah. And that's the lucid dreaming gamma, that's the clairvoyance gamma.
Yeah.
You need the Christmas tree, but you're going to climb higher up on, and the young people do it better, of course.
Okay, well, so it was to answer a few questions that I had yesterday, and again to explain about this 53 Hertz and the link to Schumann. So I will now try to explain a little bit about the app. So the FlameinSound app was designed to create at the beginning binaural sound to access relaxation, bliss states and so on, and then it will lately adapt to drive our sensor, so the PlasmaPhire ball or the PiezoPhire devices. And it's very important to remember that these two parts cannot be used on both ways. So if you're selecting to hear binaural sound with headphones, don't use the frequency that are built for the PlasmaPhire, and also in the other way.
We think it is the world's most powerful bliss-inducing binaural audio because it's more accurate to conjugate inside your head. You know, the binaural is actually massaging inside your head by the heterodyne. But Patrick's point is that the frequencies are higher in where we drive a device than where we drive your brain.
So what happens if you do it?
Well, it kind of ringing in the ears, danger of tinnitus. That.
Yeah. Also, in fact, for audio sound waves, it's not exactly the same part of frequency band, because for when we are using a cascade of frequency with transducer, with other sort of plasma ball or piezo devices, we need to go to very low frequency, which are not possible to hear with the, because if we are not using this very low frequency, we are losing our grounding.
And that's part of why eventually Patrick moved to battery powered in the PlasmaPhire, because that's infrasound, and the infrasound is the long wave. And you can't do that with AC power. If you want 1 or 2 hertz, hello, you need battery powered AC. Ride the long wave.
But we can go to down to 1 hertz with the plasma ball, and also
And are you, in the U.S., are you allowed to use those things if they plug into a wall, even?
Well, you know, they have diodes and safeties. It's okay. Yes, we're allowed to. Yes.
What, if they plug into a wall?
Well, that's the thing. Normally, you wouldn't use the PlasmaPhire with the battery charger plugged in.
Right. No, it's better to charge. Well,
it's better anyway.
It's much better to use on batteries.
Yeah.
Like that you can, and you can even, well, I will show you later, but you can even use the plasma ball in the middle of a field, in the wood, or in nature. Nature loves these frequencies, this plasma frequency. You feel that the trees are really happy when you're doing it, and it's a completely different experience in the nature than inside the room. So there are 2 parts. So one part to use with the headset, and another part to use with the transducer, the other transducer.
It's one of the reasons we consider the PlasmaPhire in many ways superior to some of the other devices like Quantify.
Well, and for the hearing sound, you have to be very careful. There are a lot of frequency which can be used, but you have to be very careful if you're very sensitive with your ears and if you have tinnitus. In this case, only use lower frequency cascade. There are a lot of different possibilities, but in fact, in 1979, Tomatis has made a lot of hearing tests in French population, and this, when you're getting older, you're losing a part of the thing that you're hearing, and normally when you have 60 years old, you should be here, so you're losing a part of high frequencies. And when we are making hearing tests now, you see, instead of being here, most of the people are there. So it means clearly that they are very, very sensitive, too sensitive to higher frequency. So we have to be very, very careful with high frequency for the ears.
Do you think exposure to electrosmog makes you oversensitive to high frequency?
Yeah. But we are exposed to frequency all the time. You go in a shop, there is music. You go to a restaurant, there is music. So it's too much. If you move your finger on the other hand like this for a couple of minutes, it's okay. But if you do it for 2 days, you will be burned. It's the same thing.
With your Bluetooth.
Yeah, you have Bluetooth. You have. It's almost impossible to stay in a place, a normal place where people are going without waves coming to disturb you, even if you don't feel it, if you don't hear it. And also the music which is displayed in a big shop or is compressed music, because there is too much noise. So if you want to hear the music, they have to compress it. So it doesn't have anything to do with the original music.
Not natural.
Okay, so the first part of the app for hearing sound with binaural sound. The other part is to drive the different devices. And again, as I explained, there is two things. So you can select the frequency which is related to the part of the body you want to enter in resonance with, and also this movement between the two transducers. And this movement is regarding internal rhythm that we have in the body. So and also, as Dan proposed to do, is to make a shift between 180 degrees shift between the two waves which are coming out of the transducer.
And that will actually massage the inside of your head.
Yeah. So just to explain rapidly what is a beat. So how do we create this movement? So if we take two very close frequency, well, let's say 130 and 130.1, it will create, the result will be there, and it will create, so the sound will come and go back, and come and go back. But if you take the two transducer, it will be in one and then in the other. So it will be this kind of movement.
And that is the Mayer wave, that's the point of breath.
And here, here 0.1 Hertz is the Mayer wave. So this is an example of binaural beat, so it's going from one side to the other.
So you think you're hearing a beat, but actually you're feeling it inside.
Yeah,
because it's not happening in the air, only in your head. It's all in your head.
Yeah, in fact, if you place two speakers and sending this information, the sound that you will get will be the sound is coming, disappearing every 10 seconds. But if you are using stereo headphones, you will hear the sound continuously, and you will not feel that this movement is happening. And so we are always creating this kind of movement between the different kind of sensors that we are using. And this movement, again, is created in relation to the rhythm that we have inside the body. So the Mayo wave, which is the blood pressure variation, or the emptiness of the brain ventricles. So this is these two waves coming from one side and the other. So when they are encountering each other in the middle, as they are 180 degrees shift, they are canceling each other. So it's creating some kind of 0 point in the middle.
It's like if they were in phase, then one would be pushing in while the other was pulling out. The 180 degrees out of phase means it's a well-designed tomato juicer. You can't get a better squeeze. It's about the squeezing.
Yeah. And so in the app, it's possible to change and to select the frequency of, well, the rhythm of the movement between left and right, and also to select a shift or not shift. And you can program it, you can create sequence, and
You can pick your chakra you want, which one you want to ring.
and also that's how the app was designed at the beginning. It was created with audio files, with binaural files that can help you to relax and also to access much easily to lucid dreams.
We should mention, Patrick, you want to mention the in the flow part of this? How Patrick actually discovered this, that in the sports literature, in the flow, somebody mentioned that before, in the flow means by definition your back brain is dominant and your front brain is relaxed. In order that your mediation, your fast millisecond response, happens right at the top of the spine, doesn't wait for the front brain to decide, because that takes forever. So being in the flow means your back brain is down right here, your amygdala, you know, sounds like modula to me. And with that amygdala, that's actually, so here, being a 4-channel EEG, we teach rear brain, back brain dominance, and you can see the amplitude of the white back brain is higher than the black front brain, meaning this person is closer to, quote, in the flow.
Yeah. In fact, the flow is a special state that, you know, you see some people climbing buildings on the face of the building, or climbing mountains, but very vertical mountains, or also musicians. Some musician, when they're in the flow, the music play by itself. They are not thinking about what to do. The front brain is completely closed.
And the back brain is mediating with the amygdala or the amygdala.
Yeah. And we can measure it. It's an option of the app. Yeah, yeah.
It's very reptilian. They call that the reptilian brain. In fact, that's the mouth of the snake brain.
So there are different options. So in the audio files that you can listen to with a headset, there are different options, which are option with therapy cascade of Dan, and again, be careful. Some of them have a very high frequency. So if you not disturb, please use it. It's nice. But if you're a little bit disturbed by high frequency of, you can have tinnitus. Avoid this frequency.
2 seconds with that thought. Sorry, but the reason migdal means to tower, mandala, migdal is the Magdalene tower. Migdal means to tower, but when your amygdala is standing up on its tail, it's towering and dumping the bliss juices into the high brain. Literally, the snake is towering. It stood up. That's called kundalini. It's a tower.
Okay, so there are a lot of options to use with headphones and binaural beats, but you can also use the transducer to induce some relaxing state or lucid dreams. And it's possible with the plasma balls, And in this case, you are using another option. With the plus and minus button here, you can change the beat frequency. And while using the two plasma balls, you select the pineal gland frequency. You change the option to select another beat, and then you are using the Schumann frequency as a beat, or a lower theta frequency as a beat. And it can really help to induce lucid dreams.
Very blissful. And we want to say that the same equation of harmonics as we drive in the therapy, we documented triggering of lucid dreams, which is the compression that results from implosion, making your aura longitudinal coherent.
But here it's in the room that the frequency are coming, and so your body catch from the field inside the room, and your brain try to enter in resonance with what is generated in the room. Yes.
So the top spheres, and you have the ears crossed out. So I have used those frequencies and modified the different beats. But the way I'm looking at that picture, saying I am actually shouldn't be doing that, even though they're through the shungite spheres. And is that the piezo coils that you're using, or the piezo disc that you're using, or is it the
But you can use both. It depends. No, I've tried with both. It's working with both. Two piezo or two coils. It's also working. But you need the shungite as an amplifier.
Yes, but my question is I mean, I sleep with these on my, and then I pick the different frequencies. Sometimes I use the chakra cascade, but what I'm seeing with the ears, maybe that's not a good idea to use that.
Yeah,
I'm going to be listening to it all night in my sleep.
I have to say, I had at least 2 or 3 people at that birthday party that everybody tried the PiezoPhire, and 2 of them had ear problems. And we put the piezos on there, and they were both delighted, actually. But I don't know about all that.
Well, I have not, I do get ringing in my ears,
Yeah.
which is called tinnitus, but, it usually is not when I'm under the tones, but it happens in other rooms. I mean, with that not on, then I get the tinnitus.
Yeah. In fact, it's better, like you are using during the night. During the night, with a lot of frequency sending to the sphere, I don't use the piezo, because the piezo sometimes can create sound. So, and with the coil, you will not have sound.
It's inductive. That's a coil.
It will generate a field, but without sound. Because in the latest video that I have done on fractal field, we have seen a video made by a Canadian. What is his name again?
Shelley? No.
Shelley, yes, Shelley. Shelley was make some healing session while using the piezo and a shungite sphere. And she placed the piezo on the pubis of the client, and when she was moving the sphere up, you were hearing a sound. It was amplifying the sound, which was not possible to hear without the shungite.
The shungite is a super dielectric, so it allows the capacitance to focus, probably some piezo.
Yeah.
Just briefly, the Tufan suggested just to clarify a little bit more the difference between beat versus shift up there also.
And the selections on that button.
The shift, they're both a phase angle between right and left hemisphere. So the right and left transducer are making a frequency difference. The beat there is usually just a 180, but the shift allows you other choices. Is that right, Patrick?
Yeah. Well, you can select a beat or no beat, or shift or no shift, or both. And when you have a shift, it means that when the two waves are out of phase, so when one is up, the other one is down. And when they are meeting each other, You see, they're canceling each other and create some kind of 0 point.
Implosion.
Implosion. Okay, that's what we are looking for. And the beat is the movement between the left and the right transducer. And this movement is created according to the internal rhythm of the body. Let's say 0.1 Hertz. So every minute it will 6 times go to the left and 6 times go to the right.
Remember that the ability to access that longitudinal still point means that all the squeezes have to arrive in phase in such a way that the compression is symmetric from opposing directions. It sets up the rhythm of implosion. That's fusion physics, actually. That's why only 180 degrees out of phase makes phase conjugate optics, lasers, work.
And as per your suggestion, which ones should be used when maybe would be helpful?
Well, in the app and also in the file that I place on the cloud, there is some kind of compression, as I explained yesterday. So we are starting with the beat frequency, the rhythm of the blood pressure variation, and then go down step by step, which is golden ratio by golden ratio, to the emptiness of the brain ventricles. And the body feel this movement in the room and say, oh, this is something that I know. So I make the connection with it.
You feel the still point. Inside the still point is the voice of God. I mean the longitudinal array, or both.
And so what is nice, always to change, you have to surprise the body also. So what is nice is to, when you have the app, you can try to make a 180 degrees for 1 minute, and then only the movement, the beat movement, and then you start again with 1 minute with the 180 degree shift. So, or you mix both of them, but always change. What is nice is always try to surprise the body.
Between shift and beat.
Yeah.
Yes, but you can mix the shift and beat.
Yeah, because you could be 180 degrees out of phase in addition to it.
In addition to the shift.
Remember, when you're teaching people to access the still point, you're not only showing them the way into the array, the mind of God as it were, but this is the way to bliss and successful death and lucid dreaming. If you're preparing someone for successful death, that's the way. It's literally a black hole.
So you want to shift it so the body learns how to do it itself, rather than become dependent on...
Well, the shift here, for example, the Schumann shift means you're teaching the brain to feel the Schumann resonance. Whereas the 180 degrees out of phase means you're creating more efficient implosion. So the shift, 0.1 hertz, Mayer wave, you need to feel that. Shift 7.1 Schumann. So you're learning inside how to feel them.
Well, in fact, there are two different things. A cascade of frequency, which is designed to enter in resonance, let's say for the first chakra, second chakra, to the heart. And also, as there are two different things inside the body, the different frequency, but also there are rhythm inside the body. And so to send both information to the body, what we are doing is to make the movement from left to right or from up to down, with also the cascade of frequency. But there are two different things which are coming together at the same time.
About 20 minutes left, so please start here. Yeah.
Okay, we have to hurry. Okay, so again, when you again regarding the beat, when you have two different frequencies, what's happening if you send two frequencies, that's how I explain the beat, it will create another frequency related to the difference between the two frequencies. Okay? Now, we were using it with to get the 0.1 Hertz, or to get the 0.03 Hertz of the brain ventricles. But it seems that it is also used in music, and for example, in church with when they need to create some frequencies from the pipes, they are using two pipes with two different frequencies. And this is created the note which is missing. Okay? So when I've heard this information,
Like Tantra.
I said, but we have different frequencies in the body. We have each chakra has its own frequency. So when we have two different frequencies, normally it should create a beat between these two frequencies and create something else. And what could it be? And we have this information that Dan equation is related with golden ratio with each of the chakra. So if we take the two frequencies, okay, what will result? And in fact, if we have, so this is the cascade that we are using in the app, but if we take, for example, the frequency 20.5, the lower frequency related to golden ratio, it's 12.7. So what is creating 7.8?
See, that's 7.8 at the bottom, so Schumann has been self-replicating.
See, this one, these two create this one. These two create this one. These two create this one.
Recursive, non-destructive heterodynamics, therefore implosion.
And this is a property of golden ratio. It's called alt and multiply.
And retuned to accurately Schumann.
Geometric progression.
So this means that when you have two frequencies here, it will create the lower one. And it's also working, so it means that when you have all of your frequency of the chakra which are fine, it will create some kind of implosion.
That's it. That's it.
Inside the body. Okay?
That's like proof that person from
And also in the other way, because if we take this one minus this one, we have this one.
Recursive, heterodynamic is always adding and multiplying. Only golden ratio does both. Note the 53 there, the 7.8 there. So the cascade is retuned to the earth.
Now, well, this was very interesting for me to discover it this last day, because when you have correct frequency, correct vibrating frequency inside the body entertains all the different parts, and it's making some kind of compression inside. So these are the different transducers. How much time then?
About 20 minutes.
20 minutes, okay.
15.
The device we are using are sending voltage, but also magnetism. And magnetic is like when your body receiving magnetic information, it's like a dynamo. Your blood cells are charged. And when the blood cells are passing close to a magnetic field, a microcurrent is generated, and this stimulates blood and lymph circulation, also increase the gradient across the cells and increase the chemical exchanges of the cells. Now, if it's electric, healthy cells are charged. This is the case you see here. Its blood cells were packed together because the voltage on the positive voltage of the surface of the blood cells are not enough to repulse each other. And this is good blood cells which are not packed and not too close to each other. So this is the influence of the electric and magnetic. So for the PlasmaPhire, there are different options. You can use the PlasmaPhire only with frequency of the cascade of Dan, or you can also use them, and I will show you on Monday. There are people who are using the plasma to send information also in a different way, the music in a different way in a room. So they are making meditation with Tibetan bowls, and you have the sound of the Tibetan bowls, but also this sound is transformed in plasma to fill the room. This is an option of this device. So they should be placed. That's how we begin. Place them about 1-2 meters away, left and right from the body. This is the way that we start to use them according to the shift that we explained about the frequency of Dan. And we have made a lot of tests with to make sure that the frequency cascade that we are using were really entering in resonance with the body. So we have made tests with very sensitive person. We have also made tests with plants. So what I have done, I'm sending information in the room through the balls, and then I'm connected the plant to an amplifier, and we are receiving, the plant is receiving, we have the proof that the plant is receiving the frequency we are sending. We have made also different tests with different devices, and sending the cascade of Dan. You see, this is, I'm sorry I speed a little bit because I don't have very much time left, but this is the chakra and the frequency of the body before and after a session with the plasma ball. So you see it fixes most of the things we have. So it also with GDV devices, and when we are sending, you see some frequency are missing in the body, and after sending this specific frequency for a while, it's filled again. Now, about the latest piezo and coil device that we have designed. So there are, in one side there are piezo, and piezo, as I explained, is a property of the crystals. So this crystal which is inside is moving according to the frequency that we are sending. And the other one is a coil, and we are using them one from the back and one in opposite way on the body to use the shift of the waves, so cancelling and creating implosion and yes, a 0 point of energy in the middle.
It's like a bifilar Tesla coil. The Tesla coil, by its nature, propagates longitudinal better, and then being a flat pancake, it's also more longitudinal. So,
and as Dan explained, we can also place a shungite sphere on this transducer, and it will send information in the room. So we can use it during the night and sending information, or you can even send during the day and to send information in a room.
see, and the molecular model of shungite, that's a conjugator. That's capacitively permissive, but also implosive. It's a conjugator like fullerene.
C60, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that why you're using shungite?
Shungite is a
Most
super
of the
Now this is molecularly a clue to why it's a super dielectric. Implosive.
Yeah, shungite is a crystal which conducts electricity. So it's a superconductor.
Well, super dielectric is a little different meaning. Superconductor would basically, it makes a very efficient capacitor.
So that's why you use shungite instead of like quartz or something.
Yeah, quartz is profoundly piezo, but not
Yeah.
high dielectric.
Yeah, because of
If
the
you're,
carbons.
if you're living in a house that feels blissful, chances are the materials are high dielectric and not piezo.
Well, in fact, this is the setting that we can do, huh? The place. Well, this is how I do in my room. So there is one on one side of the bed, the one on the other side, and I'm sending information turning during the night.
What is the phase of
each transducer to one another?
Well, that's the thing, the 180 degrees out of phase is a primary shift. We also offer other phase shifts to modulate on that. The 180 degrees out of phase is invention of conjugations.
Yeah,
What information are you sending?
Well, that's it, we have
It's
chakra
coming.
frequencies.
it's coming.
Yeah, sorry, Patrick. Sorry, this is the bipolar.
Well, this is the bipolar Tesla coil. So it's 1894, the patent of Tesla, and it was only used, well, let's say 20 years ago, to charge your iPhone, to charge your toothbrush, but it was created in 1894.
Yeah, hint, wireless conduction implies action at a distance. Ooh, let's study that.
And so this transducer, well, the coil, so it's longitudinal wave, but also a torsion field. And this torsion field is created thanks to the shape of the spiral of the coil. These are the, well, I'm go faster, but you see, regarding to the shape of the cable, the spiral of the cable,
Loosening the movement.
it's in the, yeah.
Well done.
This is the movement. So this is the torsion field,
The Russians called it torsion because the spiral creates longitude, so it's their name.
and this is the proof that it's a longitudinal wave. You see, the receiver doesn't get anything until it is in perfect alignment with the sender.
You see, it's inductively coupled.
Yeah. So these coil have the two properties: the
If you want to
spinning.
feel it,
Yeah.
line yourself up.
Yeah. Well, this part Dan explained in one of the latest Fractal U conference that you don't really need a very high
High voltage.
voltage
Yeah.
to create what we would like to receive. And well, in fact, I've made a few measurements, and it's well known that the Earth magnetic field is between 25 and 65 microtesla, and the Schumann is 1 picotesla. So it's really, really a tiny thing, really. And our devices are at the full volume of the iPad. We are about the size of the magnetic field of the Earth. It's full volume, 100%. And so if you are using it at 30% or 50%, it's still working. And you really don't need a very high volume for the body to catch
If you
information.
put Schumann in a room at high voltage, people do not get bliss. You put it at very low voltage, people do get bliss because the radio is.
Well, just to mention that, well, it's not new. It's a lot of experiment has been done by NASA because the guy going in space have big trouble with the bones because the gravity is not present, and the bone needs gravity to grow. And so they have made a lot of experiments on the bones, sending fields when these guys were coming back to Earth, and the result that they have was about between 1 and 20 microtesla, the field that they have to generate to recover the bones. And again, another study, which is a small study, but it's very interesting. It's a study which was done while measuring the field generated by the hand of healers. And it's 0.3 microtesla again. So it's in the same range. Healing with the hands, it's the same range as what we are doing with our device. So this is the piezo. What is very interesting with the piezo is that normally if you place a piezo and a shungite on it, it doesn't create normally electricity. And we have made an experiment with the Muse headset to measure what's coming out of the shungite ball. And it's amazing because when you send 85 Hertz frequency, a fixed frequency of 85 Hertz, I choose something which is quite away from the 50 Hertz to measure. And each time I will press play, the 50 Hertz will disappear and the 87 will appear. So it means that even the shungite ball is sending information to the brainwave receiver. It's completely crazy. You see that each time I press play, 87 is coming, I stop, 50 Hertz is coming back. Up again and again and again.
So the 50 is the noise, and
Yes.
the 87 is
Yeah,
the healing,
yeah.
actually here. So the healing implosion is repressing the noise.
Yeah. Okay, I have to hurry a little bit.
Yeah, we have this.
Yes.
Please finish.
Yeah. Well, in fact, this transducer, what is nice, you can use both of them or a single one, but it's also interesting to mix a piezo and a coil. But in this case, instead of placing them in front of each other, you place it at 90 degrees. That's the way that we got the best result.
Very interesting. So the magnetic and the electric basically are perpendicular and therefore to conjugate.
Yeah. Okay. To send information to a room, while the cascade of Dan is really nice. Huh? To clean a room. To clean a room, we send the cascade of Dan for 1 hour or so, and your room will be clean. Now, yes.
The shungite sphere helps
Yeah.
radiate that.
Yeah.
For how long, do you need to repeat it to keep the room clean?
Hours
It
or-
depends. It can be destroyed in a second with. What I've noticed, it's completely crazy, is that I just clean a room. The energy in the room was really fine, and then I switch on the TV.
High voltage thing. Right?
No. It's no. I thought it was the screen of the TV which was sending, and it's not, because I tested another time, and if I put on the TV but without the connection with the program of the TV, so only the blue screen, it doesn't change anything. But once you connect the television and the program is coming,
As long as you turn off CNN, you're fine.
Is it a smart TV? Is it a smart TV with internet connected to it or
no, just a normal television.
Receiving signal somewhere.
Somehow.
There is some noise in the signal again. It can be a lot of things, huh? But well, that's what happened. And well, what is interesting is that we have noticed, and we have made some tests, and it's really interesting. We have made some tests also with very sensitive person, try to have the feedback. And the first test was done with shungite sphere. And they were saying, okay, I feel this, perfect. And then we change and we use crystals. And this rose crystal is very, very well known to calm babies in a room, to have a nice sleep. And so we have tested. And when we make the test with blind, not with blind, no, a blind test with sensitive person, they're saying, oh, yes, we feel, but it's a little bit soft, it's nice. And so the summary of the different tests that we have made is that shungite is more incisive, more strict, or and so the quartz are a little bit soft and.
Shungite is only found in one place in the world? Most of it's in Russia, but
yeah, there is only one place in Russia. Yes.
This is the difference between piezo and high dielectric there.
Yeah.
And also our fire crystal. So when we
this is one of the steps of the next. We would like to continue to work with crystals, and we have made already a few tests. We need to get a crystal with the good shape to continue.
That one that you have slide with that?
I can maybe I can bring some on Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So firecrystal.com, PHIRE, and you take the PiezoPhire is the ultimate device to fire your fire crystals. And it's a longitudinal that comes out the end that heals water and people actually. And we believe that the vocal, he intuitively he was using phase conscious breathing. But the parallel sides are more tunable accurately than the cone-shaped sides. Actually.
Some of them are slanted. You're saying when they're flat, it's better.
Well, it depends. If you want to approximate conjugation, you can do it with cone shape. But if you want accurate, then that's another level, another step, much more powerful.
Does it matter how many sides?
Well, 6 or 8. 6 is native to quartz, but we're But that's the Atlantean fire crystal. I guess we'll do that in one presentation coming.
Yeah. So you can also use it to program water. You can just place a glass of water on it,
or point the crystal at the water.
Yeah, and it's amazing because I'm working with waves, testing bad waves, and since a lot of years, and I have a very strange experience these last weeks that I had a mouse in my cellar, and when I was, I didn't want to put poison, and so I use bed waves, very high frequency waves, to get rid of the mouse, and it's working fine. They don't like it, but unfortunately I made it during a night that I was not at home, and I make it turning during the whole night, and I only drink spring water. So I go to the spring, I put in a big tank, and then I come. And this one of them was in my kitchen, and the door to the cellar stayed opened. And when I came back the next day and I wanted to drink water, I said, what's this? And then I say, okay, no, I'm thirsty, I will drink it. And it was really awful. So even one night of these bad frequencies, it's amazing.
The water is the receiver.
The water is incredible, really incredible.
Frequency of plant-based.
Oh, it's a mix of frequency that, but very bad chord.
It's not the brown note.
Can you finish in a couple of minutes?
Yes. I will. Just one thing. You were asking me, what are you sending? What frequency are you sending? And well, of course, we are using a lot. Down Cascade, the app, FlameinSound app, but it's also possible through this device to send other things, other kind of information. And I've talked yesterday about Stéphane Cardinaux, and he's doing really a good job with making recording of sacred space, of its own way of analyzing chakra and things like that. And so we can use this transducer to play also this kind of file. And it's possible on this site to download. There are a few a few files that you can download on it and spray them in the room or in your on your body. Now, if you have a monofile and you want to use also a shift, the shift is only possible if you have a stereo file. So if you have a monofile like the one from Stefan and you have to want to use a shift, it's very easy. You just turn one of the two receivers. Okay?
Invert the phase.
You directly invert the phase. Now, the last thing, yes, this is really new. We start by using the two transducers in front of each other to get this 0 point of energy in the middle. Okay? Now, what we are doing, and it's very recent, if you place them side by side, close to the other, it will also create this kind of state in the middle. And we have really good result by using them this way. Yes, yes. In fact, it's the same thing as a cat, you know. You will have exactly the same thing.
Great metaphor, Patrick.
The cat does that all the time.
No catastrophe.
And also, this is also the reason why healers are working with their two ends.
Oh, yeah.
Because you need the two polarities. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I think that. Yes, well. So you use them
Yes, you can
together on your body.
help the body.
Yes, one more thing. I'm sorry, and then it will be okay. This is very interesting. If you are using the plasma ball and sending a full cascade of frequency, so a full spectrum of frequency, and you place them. You place a beautiful fractal tree or fractal vegetable between the balls and your body. It will go through the trees, through the fractal device, and you will receive the information. And in the next days, what I will do, I will place on the website, on the cloud, these new files that you can use to do this.
It's like when sunshine comes to a fern tree.
Yeah, yeah, the same thing.
Yeah. Beautiful. That's beautiful, Patrick.
Okay, thank you.
Patrick is really the hero of these technologies, and please, we'll chat more, and when we talk later in the day, maybe we'll do the fire pistol a bit more. But at this moment, if you want to take 10, just 10, please. And then we have Juan Schlosser from Bali, who's amazing. So just 10 minutes.